So you use this evocative metaphor, a magic thread that runs through events and connects the visionary leaders in our history, from Champlain right up through, I assume, to the present. What do you mean by that?
There was this rarely explicitly described sense that animated all of the main builders of the country at every phase, that the northern half of this continent could be turned into a very interesting, advanced, and successful political society, and a rather unique one. So it wasn't a thread in a straight line, but it did connect. And in a strange way, Champlain's idea and his immediate successors in New France was effectively taken up by Carleton to create a society of bilingual, or at least bicultural society, the two cultures living together. Not all of them speaking the other's language, but living together and making it work. It was terribly difficult. That no one ever suggests it's been like falling off a log, turning this into a serious country, even though it's a rich country. It's been very complicated.
One of the things that really shines through in this book, I think, is your affection and your respect for the country. And you know, when you renounced your citizenship so you could take your peerage, a lot of Canadians, I think, took that to mean that you saw the country as defective or inferior in some way. I mean, you called it a plain vanilla place. I mean, do you think this book will reverse that
I didn't write it
perception,
for that reason, and I don't know. I mean, I would have to be brain dead not to be aware that there were some public relations problems with what happened. But I just want to, if I may, just make a point. I thought that I would renounce my citizenship and take it back. And I said that. I'll do it in order to prevent Chrétien from doing something that I think is illicit, but which the courts won't deal with. And I'll then apply for my Canadian citizenship back. Now, I've been interrupted in doing that because of all this nonsense that went on in the United States, but that's still my plan. At no point was I saying I don't like this country, or I don't take it seriously, or I'm not proud to be Canadian. I like vanilla. It's a damn good flavor, but it's not exciting, but it's good, you know.
Is your Canadian citizenship very, very important to you? Is it more important than your peerage?
No, I'm proud to be British also. They're both great countries, and I'm proud to be a member of their parliament. It was an honor to be made a member, and I enjoyed the debates I had to do there. But, so I don't want to make it an invidious comparison, but I'm proud of both countries. They're both great countries.
There's a fascinating section near the end of the book where you rank the prime ministers in these kind of tiers, and you've got Macdonald and Laurier, and I think King at near the top.
Trudeau.
The true greats, I guess, yeah.
So Trudeau, but I said sui generis. He was only great in one thing, but it was the reason he entered public life, and that was what he was elected to do. I think his record was poor or mediocre in almost everything except defeating the separatists and advancing Canadian culture and making Ottawa a more distinguished looking capital. When Trudeau came into office, it didn't look like the capital of a serious country.
Well, how did you come to those placements? I mean, how do you judge their records? What makes a great prime minister?
Qualities of leadership and advancing the country and advancing the national interest in a often difficult times, and just the normal criteria for talent in a leader. I mean, why are Washington, Lincoln, and Franklin D. Roosevelt great American presidents? I mean, they did great things. Well, everything's to scale, you know.
Who is the most underappreciated figure in Canadian history?
Duplessis, who was in fact a great premier, and has been, as you know, absolutely smeared as a kind of primitive and corrupt man, which he wasn't either of those. Authoritarian, yes, but no more than Quebec leaders usually are.
Should Louis Riel have been hanged?
Absolutely not. It was that and the financial skullduggery in the 1872 election were the two serious mistakes John A. Macdonald made. And why he reacted like that, I just don't know. It's never been properly explained.
A moment or event to which we attach too much importance.
I think there may be too much lamentation still going on about the imposition of the War Measures Act in 1970. It was a very imperfect instrument, and is now, of course, very well known that the police were completely incompetent in much of the activity they engaged in. On balance, it was a successful handling of a difficult situation. I mean, the Vice Premier of Quebec had been murdered, and a British trade representative kidnapped.
Figure in Canadian history you'd most like to have a drink with, but can't because the person is dead.
I think probably Champlain. I'd ask him what he really thought of Richelieu.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So nice to speak with you.